As most of you know, I help a lot when it comes to new construction from the ground up, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I've talked about it in previous videos, but I actually just went on a design appointment with Riverside Homes with my clients who are now relocating here from New York to Florida. Let's talk about the design appointment and why it's important sometimes to have your agent there present for your design appointment. That might end up saving you money in the long run. Let's talk about it. But first, let's have a quick introduction. Even if you've been on my channel or not, my name is Demi Judd, and what I love to do is help families find home and build roots here in Northeast Florida. I'm a born and raised local, so I try to make the process completely seamless while making you feel a local in no time. You'll hear that a few times from me. One of my favorite projects I've been able to work on for a couple years now is honestly the completion of Nocatee. Now, I am a transaction broker here in Northeast Florida, so I do not work for the builders. I do have some that I have favorites of, and Riverside Homes happens to be one of them, especially in the neighborhood of Nocatee. And I have helped many families build from the ground up. And what I mean by that is choosing the home site that they absolutely love with the backyard they want, the neighbors who they will be okay with, and build that dream home from slab, actually really to dirt, to slab, framing, all the way to walking in and saying, welcome home. So this family, the Dales, they're absolutely amazing. They're actually a referral from another client I've had who we built home in Nocatee. And they fell in love with it. I say they sipped the Kool-Aid. And they are able to build this beautiful home. And we're going to have it done, oh my gosh, I think by Q1, they said. And we're in mid-fall, September-ish, I guess beginning of fall technically. But I'm so excited for some of the design options that we have and some of the choices that we made. But let's talk about the process before we even got to the design appointment. And then I'll show you guys a walkthrough of what the design studio looks like in Riverside Homes, and also some options we made along the way too, because it's always fun to see what people picked. The Dales are a sweet couple that are moving here from Long Island, New York, and they have a little bit of an accent, not too much, but there's just something about my New York clients that I absolutely love, and I think Nocatee is absolutely perfect for, especially because of the community vibe that they have and so close to the beach, but not too close to the beach. But they were quick. We saw them the first day. I gave them a quick tour. We did a Noca tour and saw all that Nocatee had to offer. And then, of course, we saw the brand new Greenway Trail that you guys will have to stay tuned for. And I'll show you guys that brand new one that just opened up. And they saw all the builders. Now, of course, from the outside, they walked into Riverside Homes and immediately knew. We didn't see anything else. I blocked out this whole day to go see design with them, and they absolutely knew from the moment they walked in that this was the builder they wanted to be with. And from there, we looked at the different floor plans that would work for them. We found the perfect one. They ended up going with a crescent. A crescent would give the perfect kind of hosting lifestyle, but still having one bedroom downstairs for them for a guest suite, and then upstairs being able to live, have a nice play area for the kiddos. It honestly was perfect for them. It was a match made in heaven, and they're building it from the ground up. So any choices they want, any design looks they want, they're able to choose. And sometimes the builder doesn't always have the options you want, so that's one thing to consider too. But as we were negotiating for them for this new construction purchase, I actually negotiated in design like credits. So then they're not having to pay out of pocket and having to basically nickel and dime themselves. They were able to actually make choices that they probably wouldn't have made if they didn't have that credit. Standard credit was about $50,000 they were doing. And they're like, do you know what? $50,000 is what we're doing. We'll give you money towards closing costs. I got them 60. I just want at least some more than what they're offering. So I love to get people deals, and I love to make it possible because that extra $10,000 got them able to move a little bit more options for them than they thought was possible to begin with. So when we're going into this design appointment together, and I'll be able to share with you some options that they made and some options that they changed, and for different reasons, but some of these options that they're able to make were completely free. These were credits from the builder. And of course, yes, I understand you're going to say, Demi, they're not free, but they're options that they probably wouldn't have made if they would have had to take the money out of their pocket. So let's talk about some of the options that they did and come along with me as we go see Riverside Homes and their design studio. Now, each builder is going to have a different design appointment feel. Some builders start from the flooring, some start all the way at choosing a little bit of details. My personal preference is I love starting with the flooring because the flooring has a lot to do when you start to choose cabinetries and fixtures, so it's easier to work from the ground up, just like when you're building a home. So with my clients, we actually did start with the flooring, and there's a couple different options that come with flooring. You can always do tile, you could do LVP, and of course there's carpet, and there's other wood engineered flooring and everything like that. But of course, it just matters on the durability level that you want. And do you have kids? Do you have dogs? Do you want to put in a pool? Other things to think about, and also other rooms to think about, because not every room has to have the same exact flooring. If you have 5 floorings, I will 100% judge you. You should not be building from scratch and having 5 different floorings. Just saying. But a fun tip, if you're looking for something that's durable, you have kiddos, you have dogs, you want it to be easy maintained, I 100% would go with LVP because it's also more bang for your buck. It's only in regards to the brand that you end up getting, and then of course the color you end up getting. Sometimes that level can bring you up there, but I really love what they ended up choosing. They ended up choosing kind of like I would call it like a dirty blonde color, more ashier on the tones, which made it very coastal vibe, which is what they're going for this property. And it's great because they have a dog, they have little kids, so it's going to be great for durability. Great for durability for them, but it's also important because they had to think of this flooring. Do they want carpets in the bedroom? And I would highly advise get the upgraded padding. Sometimes no matter how you go up in carpet, it just depends, because some builders level 1 completely different across the board, especially when it comes to flooring, because there's some that is like the more economically friendly builders that their level 1 flooring feels like a Walmart break room. It's not going to feel great, and so you really do want to go up. But sometimes you can get like a level 2 or a level 3, especially with these builders in Nocatee. And I would just add that 8-pound pad, and that will completely change the game. It'll be nice and soft, because that has a lot to do with it too, because you can get a level 6 flooring, you can go to level 20, I don't even know if it goes high, but if you can go all the way up here, but if you don't have padding on there, you're just right there on the cement, you're right there on the plywood. It just doesn't make sense, it doesn't sound good. 100% getting that pad, that extra pad, will not only save you money, and I would highly recommend, if you're going to do carpet, only do those in the bedrooms if you're going to do them. Or in this case, they ended up doing them, because it's a 2-story property, they ended up doing the carpet on the stairs as well, because that is such a heavy expense when it comes to builders doing it. Do I know why? Absolutely not. You could do that for much cheaper after. So if you're wanting that and you're okay with living through that structure of having to redo your staircases, 100%, or if you have money that, you get extra money from the design options, then you guys could do it yourself through that design money that you got. But I will say it is cheaper to do after the build in regards to flooring. Next, we're going to move on to cabinets. Now, cabinets could really get you out of your budget. I'm not kidding you, because our first options we find out were diamond. We're like, what's diamond mean? Then we saw the quote. Diamond's expensive. It's really nice, has a lot of different options when it comes to it. When we were able to design this kitchen, because we wanted to focus in the kitchen, because that's where the focus is for the cabinets, really. And so, do you want standard shaker cabinets, which are what's behind me? Or do you want more of those design embezzlements or anything like that? That's important to consider as well. So they had to find out kind of what style they wanted. And that has a lot to do with the framing of them right there, and the face of them and what that looked like, and also what the island shape looked like, different options. So she loves to bake. She loves to bake. So she had a couple, like the KitchenAid appliance where it comes up and it has like a little corner area. You're probably sitting at home saying exactly what it is, but it has like a corner shelf. So a mechanism that will come up. So she really wanted that. And then she wanted a spice on one side drawer to pull out. And then she also wanted like one for not pots and pans, demi-jud, it won't fit in the side, for pans, like for cookie sheets and stuff like that. So she wanted that to make sense for her. Well, the diamond package gave her that. And so we were not changing anything until we saw the number. And so we made some stuff work. We still got our spice cabinet, and we just worked a couple of things out, and then they're just ended up going to put that in later rather than already having it built in, because it's just more cost effective for them and the thing that made the most sense. But they went just a little bit below. They still got the color that they wanted for their island, because they ended up doing more of a like driftwood color for the island, and then they did white cabinets behind. Now, cabinet color has a lot to do with it, and they'll trick you, because in the design studio, I'll put up a picture, but in the design studio, this is beautiful. So this is like, I think they call it coconut. Stunning, so beautiful. We were too terrified that it would look yellow. So we ended up just going stark white. But at the same time, we're trying to have that softness within the wall color rather than there. And then we're going to add a little bit more into it as well. But as we're talking about the island, other things go into the island that you need to think about. The island, you're going to be having your sink. And so we had to pick out sinks. And of course, we went to the porcelain white one that we have there in the model area itself. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It's breathtaking. I mean, who doesn't want to wash dishes in there? I mean, I won't. I'll just look at them in there because it's beautiful to look at with this porcelain sink. But going back to cabinets, you have to consider it for all rooms. And we were honestly considering doing diamond just in the kitchen and then doing the standard or just a level up from that in the bathrooms, in the primary and also in the kids' rooms. Because why are we going to spend so much money when you know those kids are going to draw on those cabinets? And also in the formation of them, all of these things have a cost. And so we wanted to put drawers and stuff and everything like that. And once you start seeing the number, that's when you get to have fun and you get to highlight everything, cross things off and stuff like that. And having your agent there to walk you through that, like, hey, this is great. I know you're not thinking about resale, but this is what's important. Or, hey, I would 100% do this. Or, hey, let's just go ahead and nix this. You could do this later. I'm not too concerned about it. One of those things that actually we almost nixed that did go in the kitchen, we almost nixed the soft clothes. And I'm like, I'm letting you know, with the price point and the location you are in Nocatee, you're going to want those soft clothes. Like, too many people think that that's too high level, that that's a big deal for them. I have some clients that literally, like, that's the first thing they check. So once we have our flooring and we have our cabinets, because of course you want to make sure you marry the two, your next step is going to be that countertop. What's really going to go on top of that? And I will say this was a big obstacle for us because we're all very picky. And it's really hard to imagine when you have like this tiny little square of quartz and they're like, this is what it'll look like. And I was like, beautiful. On like a large scale, or is this like, this is a chunk? And it's just a chunk. So like you have no idea. It's not going to look like that little tiny square. You flip it over, some have pictures, some don't. But the veining is really important, especially with higher end. Well, we found one, chef's kiss. We found out it was kissed by a chef because it was very expensive. And so while we were working through numbers, and again, another reason why it's good to have that second set of eyes that isn't the one that's, purchasing everything, to say, hey, here's a design option, or so concerned about, I guess, the nitty gritty of the details, someone who's able to like take you back from it. I just let them work through their list of like marking things off, and I went to work. I was best friends with that quartz wall, and I found they were at a level 8. I got them to a level 6, but just that switch from level 8 to level 6, I was able to save them $4,800. That was able to make other things happen because of that. And they loved it just as much as level 8. And now we're even seeing, because we're wanting to do cafe line, and some builders don't offer it and some do, specifically with the package that they got with the gourmet kitchen. It is not an option with Riverside Homes. And so they are actually adding those appliances in after, which, by the way, the cafe line, absolutely my favorite. A lot of my clients know, and a lot of clients have chosen because it's one of my favorite. I just think they do really well with the cafe line. But they really want to do the cafe line. There's a couple options that they want to change within the cafe line so that they're just like, why are we going to possibly do a level 6 where maybe now they might choose the option of a level 1 and saving a little bit more money just because they're going to end up doing the countertops anyways. So those are just things to consider while you're at the design appointment. If you are getting different appliances in after because you don't want to go with the builder grade, really consider what you are putting in your kitchen, because they're expanding their range a little bit more. So because of that, they don't want to have to like rip into the quartz that they're paying so much money for. They're like, but what if we just get level 1 and we just get exactly what we want later on? We did the exact same thing when it came to their backsplash, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, a few things that would be a complete waste of money that I tell people, please do not do these. Do it after. Backsplash is one of them. I never liked their options. We went through so many options. I absolutely hated them. Ended up after the appointment giving them a whole entire list of like, hey, look at these places because I feel like we're on the same vibe. We like the same things. Here are the places where I would personally get my backsplash. Sent them. They love them, and that's what they're choosing from. Another thing is hardware, because you will not find this hardware at the builders. They're going to have very standard looking hardware, and it's not cute. No one likes it. Sometimes it's too tiny. I hate when they have like these little like Like, you should not be opening something that tall with this. Like, what, my child's hand's gonna go inside? No, you want the longer ones. You typically want them probably, I would say 6.5 inches to 8 inches. If you're doing a pool, it just looks nicer. It looks more elevated. It looks more elegant. Whether you just bought them on Amazon for like 20 bucks, it doesn't matter. It looks so much better. I absolutely love being a part of the building process from the ground up. And I love going to the design appointments that I'm able to make because it's so amazing watching the entire thing unfold. And it's great to have a second set of eyes because they personally won't be here. So I'll watch the entire house going up, knowing exactly what's going in because I got to be a helpful part of the process as well. I love being a part of the chapter in general, but being able to help sew the pages together of that chapter is just something special. And so if you are in the market to build your home from scratch, build in Nocatee or build in one of the neighborhoods in St. Johns County, please reach out to me before, of course, you go under contract, because I'd love to be a part of this process because there are some great options and there's stuff that's really worth it. There's stuff that's really not. And I'll go through that list with you on what's worth it and what's not, and kind of coach you through that and kind of give you those different ideas to be that sounding board other than, you guys, husband and wife, or however, partner and partner, you guys are making these decisions on what you guys want to do and what you guys like. And I'm able to be a third party, be like, hey, so here's what I think. And sometimes I side with one, sometimes I side with the other, sometimes I totally throw you in left field. But it's so great to have that sounding board while you're making these big decisions about this dream coming true. But at the end of the day, that's what my channel is all about, is making that dream of moving here to Northeast Florida, no matter if you're building from scratch or you're buying a resale or you're buying new construction that's ready now. I love being a part of that process and making that chapter happen. So if you have any questions in regards to St. Johns County, whether it's a new construction question or a cost of living question, ask me. I'm a local. I've been born and raised here and I love this county. Trust me, I've tried to move and something keeps drawing me back. And of course, I know my purpose and my heart is really to help you build roots where I've built my own. I've been raised in my own. But if you have any questions, this channel is honestly the place you want to be. So if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Demi Judd, here to help becoming local a little bit easier. I'll see ya.